And we're going to start off winterizing the 1992 Champion Euro Premier here by draining the water tank here. You see it's got it's about an 85-gallon tank, and it's got one of these little plastic valves for the drain. It goes right out the bottom. These ones, you just if you turn them, they don't really do anything when they're down. It disengages the threads. You just pull up on it and then start turning it with a little bit of pulling motion. The threads engage and it starts to open up the valve. So I've probably got about 15-20 gallons of water in there, so that's going to take a little while to drain. So I'll be back when that's done draining. One of the most important things you want to do before draining your water system, one of the first things, I got the tank draining, but is you want to turn off the hot water heater. This is off to the left. And the other important step with the hot water heater is to turn the circuit breaker off. You go to your house circuit breaker panel, find your water heater, and make sure that breaker goes to the off position so that you know you're not going to burn up your hot water heater. Also, our coach is equipped with the instant hot, and turn that off too, just so we don't risk burning up anything with having it dry from no water in it. And make sure your water pump is turned off. Open your faucets up. I put them in the like this single handle kitchen sink faucet, I put in the middle position so that it will open the cold and hot valves to let the air in so the water can drain out the bottom. And in the bathroom here, we'll open this up to the center position so hot and cold can drain. And we'll go into the shower here and open up the handle here to the middle position so the hot and cold valves are on. And also, if you have the an Arctic package on your motorhome that heats the water tanks for winter use, you also want to make sure those are switched off before you drain the water out. Our water tank is drained, fresh water tank here. I'm going to leave the valve open in the up position here so that when we drive it around here, like to take it to storage, the water will slosh around and the rest, a little bit more will come out of that drain. But I do close that up once I'm finally ready to store it away. Our Champion has a low drain valve thing here that's just a ring that you pull up on, and it opens a valve on the bottom there. So I'm just going to leave that open while we work on draining the rest. The valve above here is open, as you can see, and we do have the water filtration in there. Once I get all the water kind of drained out, I will undo that canister and empty it, take the filter out, and leave the filter out for the winter. Back in our utility compartment here with the electrical, we've got a little outdoor shower, which I still need to work on getting a new hose. Hasn't been a priority. We don't really use it other than maybe filling up a bucket of water or something. So this hose that's on there has worked, but I'm going to open up both the hot and cold valves here with this part of the system drained. And there's also, hiding up under here, you can see a little petcock that is another drain, and we're going to undo that one too. It's kind of a low point back here that they have put in to drain that tube out. It's kind of hard to get to the camera, sorry. So we'll just let that stuff drain out. We also have to do the hot water heater, and we've already made sure that the breaker, the switch and the breaker for the hot water heater is all turned off, and we just need to drain it out here with this plug. We've got a trusty crescent wrench here, or you can get the proper sized wrench on there to just undo this plug. You can see it's got lots of the white tape on from when I put it back in last time to seal up the Teflon tape, so it doesn't leak, and I don't screw it in super tight when I put it back on. There's no reason to have it killer tight. And looks like we got a little bit of gunk coming out. Let's see if I can do this without getting myself all wet. There we go. And I always leave the plug right there close by, so I'm going to put that back in here once the system's all drained out. Okay, for blowing out the system with the air compressor, I have made up a little gizmo myself. You can also buy these real cheap at like the camping supply stores. This threads into the your water connection here. I use the city water one since I don't need to blow out the freshwater tank. And I guess I'm not going to do this with one hand holding the camera, but I'll screw that in and then I hook the air compressor on there. I'll show you that in a minute. Alright, so the fitting is screwed into the city water connection, and then just hook the air compressor hose on there, and we're going to go in to the air compressor and turn the valve on slowly. We don't want to overpressure the system and damage anything, so just give it a little bit of pressure. And I also make sure that I've got all those faucets and different things open so that the air can go through the system and not build up the pressure and damage something. I have a valve on my air compressor that I'm going to slowly open to release the air pressure into the line that's hooked up to the motorhome. And I just do a little bit of this. Again, you've got to be very careful. You don't want to build up too much pressure in your RV's water system with the air compressor, because the air compressor puts out way too much pressure. So unless you have a regulator on your air compressor that you can set down to a low pressure that's safe for your RV water system, you do not want to put too much air into it. And again, I make sure that everything is open in the RV, all the little drain valves and the water faucets, as I showed you before, so that they don't, so that the system doesn't build up pressure. If the system was closed and you put this air pressure to it, you could definitely damage your faucets or piping. I've screwed the plug back into the hot water heater drain. It's all drained out empty. Ran some air through it, and so now I've plugged that back up and just snugged it, not too tight. I just for the storage. Yeah, I ran the air through the system for let it run for a couple of minutes until just made sure no more water was coming out of any of the drains inside or outside. And keep in mind that I'm going to be pumping RV antifreeze into the system also. I believe in doing both, especially here where it gets really cold in storage, and I don't want any chances of anything getting damaged and frozen over the winter. So I will, now that I've got the system all drained out, I will be pumping antifreeze in. I'll show you that in another video. And next I'll be undoing our water filter here for the water filtration system. Comes with a fancy tool that I keep in the water compartment here, so it's always handy. And I'll unscrew that and show you what's inside in just a second. Okay, got that unscrewed, and as you can see, it just pops off, and there's the filter inside. There was very little water in here, so I just take the filter out, and I'm going to put the filter inside, let it dry out. Looks I just changed this recently, so you can see it's in very good condition. I'll probably let it dry out and reuse it again for the beginning of next season. And then I'll just screw this back on here, just to keep any gunk out while it's in storage for the winter. I said I drain the water out of it, so it should be good for the winter. We also use the Camco RV water filter when we fill our system, and I take that in, keep it in the house for the winter, so it doesn't. So it always has some water residual in there. We'll be putting a new filter on it anyways for next season, so take that inside, keep it warm. And that's all for draining the water system on our Champion Euro Premier RV. In the next video, I'll show you how I put the RV antifreeze in to give it just that extra protection for the winter.